Joining us now is the managing partner of M.R. Parker Law, our favorite ace litigator, Michael R. Parker. So, Michael, I want to start with this big legal case that seems to be developing out of the Southern District of Florida. We see James Comey has received a subpoena. What are you expecting out of that investigation?
So what they're looking into is the ICA report. This was authored by John Brennan and James Comey, the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA. And what they're concerned about is the unusual circumstances surrounding the ICA report. It was rushed. It was done without consent of numerous agencies. And it was used with political pressure from the Biden administration to go after Donald Trump.
Yeah, and this seems to emerge out of the big meeting President Obama has with his national security team, where he says, you've got to go out and create this basis for the American people to believe it was Russia. Now, that report was written in the Washington, D.C. area. And yet this is a subpoena coming out of the Southern District of Florida. I believe that's because this is all part of one big RICO action, and the raid at Mar-a-Lago is a predicate criminal act to cover up those bad decisions from the Obama government. Is the raid in Mar-a-Lago enough to effectively sink venue in the Southern District of Florida so Comey doesn't get a really cozy jury in the D.C. area?
Yeah, I mean, I believe all of it is part of one grand conspiracy, kind of as Trump says, right? It's all interconnected to get political retribution against Donald Trump. So like I was saying, the ICA report, right? It was rushed. It was done completely different than the normal standards, right? The Mar-a-Lago charges and the classified document charges, that is part of that conspiracy. All of it is intertwined. So all they need is a nexus into Florida to go after Donald, or to go after James Comey and John Brennan in Florida. And they do have that nexus. The classified documents charges are based in Mar-a-Lago, based in Florida. And that's going to give Eileen Cannon, who is the district court judge, enough authority to issue a grand jury, to allow the U.S. attorney in Florida to file charges and to go after these individuals. And I think what we're seeing is that the administration is now lining up to go after the big fish. I know there were some charges against James Comey that ended up getting dropped, but I think now the real charges are going to come out. The intentional interfering with the election, the intentional prosecution of political opponents. And even though Comey is a minor player compared to John Brennan, he's still a huge name. He's still someone they're going to go after. So I think the nexus in Florida with Mar-a-Lago is going to allow them to bring everything into that venue.
There's another big legal drama people were watching this week. The victory of Afro Man in a defamation suit against him. He made these hilarious songs about the law enforcement officials who were involved in the raid. What do you think is the doctrine that this ruling is based on as it relates to the First Amendment rights of the rapper?
Yeah, so, it's a really interesting case. And to give a little bit of background, so he was being investigated for kidnapping and money laundering charges, and a judge did issue a warrant for his house to be raided. And I believe it was 7 officers that went into his home. They were looking for evidence, and they ended up finding nothing. But what is interesting is that he took his Ring camera video and he made rap songs about this incident and posted them on YouTube. And he ended up getting, I think, something like 3 million hits. Now, what's interesting about this is the sheriffs then turned around and they sued him for defamation in Ohio. And the elements there are a false statement of fact about the plaintiffs, which are the officers, and they're published to a third party, which is YouTube, and there's damages. Now, the problem is that there's no false statement of fact here. He's using video from the incident. It's kind of hilarious, right? I mean, he's talking about a lemon cake that they saw coming in. He's claiming $400 were missing from his home. So, the charges, or sorry, the lawsuit that they filed and the cause of action that they pursued was probably a bad choice. What they should have done was portrayal in a false light. Now, portrayal in a false light doesn't require a false statement. It just means that you mischaracterize someone's conduct, right? And that would have been a better charge. But there are constitutional issues here, and people do have a freedom of speech. And actually, when it's a public official, that standard is even heightened. And since they are sheriff's deputies, it's an even heightened standard in this situation.
Some in the left-wing media are freaking out over this new contract between us at OANN and YouTube TV.
It's dangerous that One American News is being platformed on such a large digital streaming pay TV provider. You're freaking out about the fact that people have choice. You know, like people can't be allowed to hear what they have to say. OAN is not the only channel on YouTube TV. There's like dozens of them. So if you don't like what's being said here, we hope you stay, but there's many other things going on in the world. This is how the left operates, Alicia. They operate in censorship. They don't believe in choice and letting people do their own homework. This is the way the authoritarian left works. They don't believe in choice because they don't like the fact that we don't live in the 1960s anymore with 3 networks and your local newspaper.
We have to respect freedom of the press, the First Amendment, free speech. Remember that.
I want to begin tonight by welcoming and thanking all of our new viewers on YouTube TV. Overnight, One American News welcomed a potential 9.4 million new viewers on YouTube TV. So on behalf of everyone here at OAN, welcome to One American News. We are incredibly excited to have you.
This will allow all YouTube TV subscribers to enjoy 16 hours of live news coverage every single day, as well as all of AWE's lifestyle, travel, and family programming, and it will be available in YouTube TV's baseline package. Now, the Vice President and Global Head of Media at YouTube, Justin Connolly, said this about it. Our goal has always been to provide our subscribers with a wide range of content, which is why we're excited to bring One American News to YouTube TV. This partnership gives One American News access to our growing audience, while also giving our subscribers even more choice when it comes to news and entertainment. And we here at The Real Story are extremely grateful for the opportunity to now reach a wider audience. And we're also grateful for the time you give us each and every single day. And we're excited for the future at this amazing network.